Booyah! Welcome! Hello, everybody! Today is a good day in the day of LEGO YouTube streamers. Things are good today. We had the video that came out this morning. Finally. This is actually crazy. It just occurred to me just as I was picking up this Falcon. But right, so the UCS Falcon is officially announced. LEGO has dropped the NDA and all the image embargo stuff. All the images are out. All the information about it is out for the big UCS Falcon today. And the crazy thing, it just occurred to me just as I was saying this, but like that means that the official embargo on the images for the Falcon have been revealed before the Last Jedi sets in like legal terms. That's so weird. Like all those Last Jedi sets, you know, like Disney's issuing those takedown notices and stuff. Like, who thought that we would be seeing the official pictures of the UCS Falcon before all the sets that people are supposed to buy in literally a day's time? Tomorrow at 10 a.m. So like in 23 and a half hours or less. Yeah. It's so crazy. Anyways, sorry. There's just craziness happening this week in terms of just, you know, the reveal for UCS. I know you guys have been freaking out. We were freaking out. It was funny. I was streaming this yesterday, and Mike, I don't know if you were watching yesterday, but Mike came out at a certain point, was like, Jack, there's this thing that happened. And that was us because we got the official images. We, like, saw the official images, but there was still an embargo on it. We couldn't talk about it. We can talk about it now because whatever, but... So yesterday I was like, oh, because he knew everything. We knew everything, but we couldn't say anything. So anyways, that's out now, and that's awesome. And it looks almost as good as how this is going to look when I finish it today. Look at the proportions of that. Dude, it looks amazing. All right. I'm not going to be able to hold it from that once I finish the bottom, but looks really good. Anyways, so... that is what's going on. Hello, Will. I'm Jack. Will you please tell Mike that there is no such thing as Dutch Cronus? Oh, yeah.
It was live train recording. I was really fast.
Yeah, he saw that, too. I saw that. Everybody saw that. Yes.
I recorded the video in like an hour, dude.
He's trying to defend himself. I don't know if you can hear him on that. He's trying to make excuses. Excuses, Mike. Sorry. Okay, that was good. Yeah. I saw that too. It's funny.
About the new table.
Oh yeah. By the way, Mike was actually out earlier today. He designed this himself. Him with his here. Let me zoom it in. So we've got it's like a laminated. It's just a laminated poster basically, and it's got this this design on it. So that's cool. So that's way better than what we had before, which was. This is what we had before, and especially when I was building yesterday, this is like just a base plate upside down. It really looked bad against all the gray and stuff that we had from this, but this contrasts much better, and it's cool. It's our own live streaming table. How cool is that? So let me put that back down. All right, let me zoom it back out. All right, that's probably fine. All right. So anyways, let's get back into it. This is. Whew, I'm like looking forward to finishing this, but also just dreading how insane the actual logistics of figuring out, I don't know, like just figuring out. There's really just a little bit more of the internal structure to go through, but not in a huge sense. Ayo, okay. Dutch Cronus died when he said that. I'm just going to read all those comments out loud so Mike can hear them in the background. All right, I'm going to move some of these parts over here. Boom. Subbed. Boom. Awesome. All right. So yeah, we had the designer videos out. We know all the stuff that's happening with the UCS Falcon. For the most part, I'm like super happy just with like the execution and what they did. They did some internals, but they didn't do like the crazy internals like from Marshall Banana, which I think ultimately is probably a good thing just because you know, the model will have a bit more structural stability. I wanted there to be a stand so you could have it kinked on the side, like the Falcon could be like this, like on its side or something, sort of how they did with the Snowspeeder, but I don't know, 8,000 pieces suspended up in the air. I kind of have a feeling why they didn't do that. Not like they couldn't logistically do it, but the stand would probably be like another 1,000 pieces or 500 pieces or something. So anyways, I think it was pretty sweet. All right, let's get back into it. See if I can't find my original model I was messing around with. Yeah, I'm like definitely over halfway, but not by like some huge margin. All right. Ugh, okay. I think I've got to start working on the way the elbow, so to speak, the arm of the Falcon is going to be able to attach to the internal structure. Because I've built up this one side, it'll be kind of a similar facet here. Got 1,000 cheers. We just got Oh, Scotland DK has used 1,000 bits. Cheers. Here's some pizza money. I'll have to live vicariously through you when you build the UCS Falcon. Right. $800 for that Falcon. What's the euro price on it? 7? I don't know. It's insane. Whatever it is, it's a lot. It's around insanity on top of insanity prices. 800 euro.
The UK price is the best. £650 in the UK.
That's so much cheaper. Dude, that's like almost better to just buy it in the UK and ship it. Like what? Why is it so much cheaper in the UK?
Well, the exchange to dollar is that.
How many pieces have I used yet in the build? For this one, Tristan? I don't know. I got no idea. Now, I'm kind of considering duplicating the main model of this Falcon one more time over again and copying it again because I feel as if I don't really remember how this thing got put together on one side. I kind of deleted some of the elbow pieces when I first built the cockpit the other day. So what? Oops. Yeah, so I'm going to be duplicating. There's a lot of stuff I do on the computer during this build and, well, the build out, you know, same thing I was doing yesterday, which is just, oh, dang it. Okay, let's try that again. Okay, come on, buddy. Hey-oh. Scotland DK just subscribed on Twitch. We got in the cheer with you. Now you got a subscription. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. All the support is very, very welcome. In fact, we'll have a bit of stuff on the news. I've already sort of figured how I want to kind of present the news tomorrow, because there's a lot of weird stuff happening with, I don't know, just licensing and all this craziness. I don't know if you've been following all the stuff that happened with Jang and other reviewers about Disney and blah blah blah. Other YouTubers have made videos on it. We'll report on that in the news tomorrow. Jack, when you build the Falcon, are you going to go live stream or are you going to make the video just like the UCS Death Star video? We're going to live stream it and we're going to make a video. Absolutely. We're going to do both. Because we want to do both. I think it's going to, dude, like live streaming 8,000 pieces. Mike, we better find a way to get like 2 manuals or just like a way for it to work out properly. It's going to be nuts if we don't. Gonna be nuts. Okay. Now, I need to figure out a way to get this arm actually attached. This is crazy looking. Okay. Yeah. Getting this arm attached is the weirdest thing. I don't know how it actually clips. All right. But I do know that the arm has to attach somewhere through here. Yeah, there's definitely going to be an attachment like this way. And then, gosh, this is like the most complex bit of the build right here, is figuring out through the digital file where on earth this Falcon is supposed to be sort of clipped onto the edge. So let me just look at this. Okay, so here we go. This is what I want to find out. All right, first I want to actually build. Forgot that was still there. I'm going to build onto the bottom of this. Get the second section. It's going to look a bit different because there's going to be the on-ramp. Microfighters. Yeah, dude. The microfighters for the Han Solo movie look crazy because we're gonna see a brand spanking new Justice League movie. Okay, this is what these are for. Oh, this makes so much more sense now. That's such a clever. Oh, that's so clever. I like how they did that. All right, cool. I'm gonna play around with some tile pieces now because I just figured out what the actual first step is. I've been sitting here, already been on the stream for like 15 minutes, and like now I'm looking at it like, okay, this is how we're gonna put this together. Boom. Wow, we got so many people that are jumping on the stream. I love it. Okay. Let's see. Let me just do this. Okay. Moving around. Okay, sorry about that. Where is the MOC going to go when it's done? This is probably going to go pretty close to the GR75. This is a MIDI scale. The GR75 is a MIDI scale, which basically... 3 Nintendo Switches, or the Falcon. That's so funny. That kind of sucks, though, yeah. Oh, right. Yeah, that's crazy. Like, that's nuts, man. That's how much the Falcon's gonna cost, guys. Is the Nintendo Switch, 3 Nintendo Switches, or the Falcon? Heyo, Willem, and I'll just subscribed on Twitch. Another 3 months? Time flies when you're building. That's right, Willem. Thank you so much for the subscription. We really do appreciate it. Even more so now we are... I'll have a funny video for you guys tomorrow for the news. Wait. Today's Thursday. Saturday for the news. Not tomorrow. Yeah, there's some just interesting developments with YouTube and what have you nots. And I think I've run out of a certain type of piece. I'm gonna actually go into my parts inventory. Woo! Really fast building today, guys. How am I already running out of pieces? I swear I over-ordered for certain parts and I under-ordered for other ones. I don't know how that happened, though. Alright. So what I think is happening, yeah. I'm building the underside of what's going to end up attaching here. But it's totally different from the last thing that I built. Like, completely. Because it's supposed to have the escape hatch at the bottom. Woo. What is this music, Mike? It's just guys screaming. Ah! Hey, yo. Alright, guys. Now we're actually starting the build. Maybe. Sort of. A little bit. Any mods here, Jack? Did you see the Falcon? So awesome. It really, honestly, I think the build for the Falcon is pretty amazing. I think they did a very good job executing that, and I think people are going to be pretty darn happy when it all comes down to it. Okay, now I know there's this interesting little clip piece. Should be. Do we not have that? Oh wait. This actually looks like a piece that we might not have ordered. Or probably did get ordered and then I didn't properly check to see if it actually arrived. And now we don't have it, so I'm just gonna delete it for now. It's the little ramp piece that I think I'm missing right now. But there's a lot of little tiny parts. There's so many crazy weird ones. Juan Pablo, did you know that Pablo is on? Okay. Baby Millennium Falcon. Ah, yeah, it actually proportionally looks better than some of the other sets. In fact, I think any of the sets. Jack, at this speed, it would take a whole year straight up, no sleep, to build the UCS Oh. At this rate, yeah, if I was building the UCS Falcon at the rate that I'm building this small one, yes. Yeah, it would take a long time. It would be crazy. So hopefully I don't end up building the Falcon at that rate, because nobody wants that. Come on now. What is going to go underneath here? I know I've got. It's so weird trying to build everything sort of opposite ways. I really wish LDD hadn't crashed on me when trying to put this little build together.
I'm gonna figure out a way in the future to get some screen speed from the other laptop.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. That would be crazy.
I think I got an idea how to do it. Not much hassle, but like test it out.
Right.
I'm sure there is a way.
Oh, I'm sure too.
I'm sure we can just like flip the cables to use the laptop as a second monitor.
Yeah.
And just add OBS source from your LED window to the second. The best of it just use that.
Okay.
I think that would work. With only one user.
Not too bad.
Yeah. I'm excited.
Mike is describing to me how he's going to MacGyver the possibility of getting a what is this piece? A feed from the laptop that I'm currently viewing, so you guys can see everything that I build as I build it from the other file, so you can see all the stuff I'm navigating. Have I missed much? I only started watching the stream. No, you have not missed much. We're talking about just the general craziness of the UCS Falcon. Finally! I can't even... When was the first time we started hearing rumors about it? Dude, like a year ago. Like...
Yeah, well, the first one was with the silhouette on the desktop box.
Right.
Was kind of
But no. There was rumors talking about it before the silhouette appeared, and then it was like this was like that was a reinforcement rumor.
okay.
Yeah, no, there was rumors before that. Yeah, I don't know though. It was like a long time. Hello, Star Wars boy. Hello. You should all scale with the ship deck. You should all Star Wars characters to scale with the ship. You mean make characters to scale with the ship? The cockpit right now has, well, it called for somebody with black hair. I mean, I did Chewie, obviously. You can see Chewie. But then it asked for black and blue. I don't know, but Han would be like, I wanted to get a dark tan piece to kind of have like Han's hair. But I couldn't find one in that stud color, so I don't know. Black and blue, is that what, Lando? I was thinking Lando. Let's see. This is so complex. The underside might actually be more complex than the top side. That's my initial impression. Okay. Yeah, I need to figure out what the heck is next to all of these pieces. Okay, Control Z. Oh, the interior of this is so complex. Ah. And what kind of stinks about it is like, it shouldn't be that complex, but it just barely is at the same time. If that makes any sense. I need to start hiding a bunch of pieces, and then once I get in there, I look at it, I'm like, oh, that build isn't so complicated. It's just trying to navigate through the 3D model is like just. It's kind of a nightmare almost. Okay, here we go. Ooh, wait a second. Now this side, the side that is closest to the arm here, is actually going to have not a 1x2, but a 1x4, which is new. There you go. So every tiny little movement has a bunch of little pieces that are going to jump in there. Oh, right. I think that's how it works. Let's see that. Yeah, I think that's how it's going to work, right? Yeah, it totally is. Yeah, so this bottom piece is going to jump in there. Let's delete that, delete that. Let's get rid of, getting rid of a lot of this internal stuff. I've got to hide each individual part, and then a new piece appears, and then I realize, all right, so what's going to attach directly? What is this piece? So there's a hide tool, and then there's a drag and pull out tool. Okay. So that first one, let's see, if I'm looking at this correctly, I've got to kind of angle it around just so I know what the heck is going on. Where's that front piece? Ah, here it is. So that is going to attach itself to, come on, buddy. What am I looking for now? Mike, did we run out of those pieces too? Oh my god, I think nothing. I think we ran out of, that's what we have. This is like the last one. Hopefully I don't need more of these throughout the build. Tomorrow I'll have a triathlon in Australia. Can't wait. Triathlon, man. That is nuts. Okay, then this one, this should be, that's gonna go there. Control Z. Hide that. Let's pull out this. Dude, this is, yeah, it's painstakingly slow, guys, so I'm sorry. I'm sorry that the unfortunate reality of this, that the unfortunate reality of this build is that it just moves so slow. But I think, yeah, but I think we actually got that attached though. So now, I know that this is gonna disappear. And then this is something. What is this? Is this a single plate? It looks like a plate. And then what goes onto here? Another plate? Ooh, okay. Okay, so it looks like so many tiny pieces. There's going to be a plate that sticks in this direction. And then, where is that jointed piece? This jointed piece is going to... Oh, wait a second. I've already attached that jointed piece. Oh, that's the one. Oh, what? I think that's the one. I'm almost positive that is. Yeah. Yeah, because if that isn't, then I don't know what would be. So let me just make double, triple sure that I'm putting all these parts in the right spot. Quite interesting. Quite. This seems like an almost unnecessary jointed piece. I'm gonna grab, I think I've got another one sitting right behind me. Should be in here. This doesn't seem like the most, it's not the most logistical point to, oh, there it is. That's what I'm looking for. I needed one more of these, but just this. And it looks like it's just for detailing. I almost want to use my teeth to get that out. Jack, can you live stream a Lego set as the next live stream? Yes, Lego figure. I do apologize that this, even for a custom build, this actually kind of goes a bit slower than the normal one. So I do apologize. I sort of bit off a build that isn't above sort of like the skill level, but it is just crazy slow in terms of how absolutely meticulous this is, and the unfortunate reality of it just not being a set that, oh man, is this gonna have to fit into, is this too much? Did I fit too much into here? Yeah, I did. By actually quite a bit. Now this brick actually comes out. Maybe I shouldn't add this piece. Why does this feel like it still needs to fit in there? Alright, let me get this piece in. They're such a tight fit, but I think it should ultimately be able to work. What the heck? What the heck? Oh, I see what's going on. Yeah, this doesn't want to fit in. Oh my gosh, I get it. I get it. I figured it out. And that is the problem with this. Here we go. This actually has to fit underneath there. So this has to come back up. There it is. There it is. We figured it out, guys. This is seriously one of the most intense builds I've ever had to attempt in my life, I think. There's a lot of so many little subtle things that go in there. But I think ultimately it should pay off. I think it will. I think it is paying off, to be fair. It's just crazy. I swear, if this had instructions, this would have been done years ago. Years ago! I think I got it, though. I think I just got it. Because this is going to be able to fit in just right. Oh, nice. Nice. And then this fits in right here. Oh, yes! Each development is such a little... They're small wins each time. But truly... so satisfying to finally get off the ground. Oh, yes. Okay. Sorry about that. Can you do a tour of your studio? Yes, we will do another studio tour very soon because I did a huge update on the Lightroom. The Lightroom looks completely different, all for the better. So, yes, yes. I can't believe I just got that piece in there. Okay, nice. It should all kind of work itself out pretty easily now. Relatively easily. It's better. It's not going to be perfect, but it's looking so much better now. So interesting. Okay, so they both actually have joints at the bottom now. So interesting. Okay. So I'm going to play around with the 3D model a bit right now and see if I can't zoom it in a bit and just figure out how the heck does this joint system work. It's all these crisscrossing elbow joints that just barely stay out of each other's way. But they look so cool. I mean, I love how this works, like just the general crisscrossing elbow nature. I think I can actually start to build the front facing points right here. But it's so subtle and strange how they fit. Let me pull this piece out so I can see what's on the inside. I think this is the one I'm looking for. Yeah, this is the one. It's this one. That is going to crisscross sort of away. Let's see. It's the angle. Yeah, it's actually going to be pointing outwards. And then I believe it's just going to fit. Same sort of idea. Is this the proper one? Yeah. Yeah. That's nuts. And then the two different connecting angles are going to actually cut in between. So we've got one of the outward joints underneath here, We're going to attach another outward joint over there. And then that's actually going to attach to the arm that cuts across like this. What? What is crazy? All right. So anyways, that's I mean, every single little step here is just one extra little bit of craziness on top of another. So now this is going to be kind of a similar format, which I think is going to work itself out like this. We get another joint out this way, and then another flat joint out this way. Yeah, this is a relatively similar sort of aspect. So you're going to bend it down this way. So they're going to kind of play into each other's niceties. And a little bit more dark red. What do you know? Did you notice that the UCS Falcon has so much brown in it? That's definitely a new sort of design take. That was something that we haven't seen before. And I think, Mike, you were saying that it's kind of reminiscent of sort of like what we got for Force Awakens, right? Yeah, that's what you were saying. Yeah. I think you're right, Mike. Yeah, more of like Dusty and stuff from Jakku. Yeah, no, I agree, dude. Mm-hmm. The hunk of junk, man. I mean, yeah, there's a reason why when people look at it, they go like, that? You know? But I think that's the sort of the genius behind the Falcon as well, though, is the fact that it looks so whatever, you know? But I honestly think it's like what I... Oh, really? Oh, I didn't even know that. But I almost feel like it's sort of the genius behind Solo being like such a successful smuggler is he knows that under the hood, it's like almost like a hot rod. Like, you know how like the old school muscle cars, it's like he knows under the hood he has just got the most banging engine. Yeah. Exactly, yeah, and that's the coolest part. Yeah. Exactly. No, that's the coolest thing about the Falcon is like they don't really talk about it like that. They don't really portray it like that, but that's the reality of the Falcon is like it's just like the most like awesome like hot rod of like a thing where like the whole concept behind dragsters was you know, guys that wanted to bootleg. They wanted to bootleg across like the U.S. county lines and stuff when Prohibition was around, and that's what got guys to try to soup up their cars in the first place. Like that's the culture behind it. You know, so I don't know. I just think it's so cool how like that's basically what the Falcon is like in terms of Americana culture, and then. When you go back to George Lucas in like his early days when he was doing American Graffiti, I mean, it had a bunch of like drag racing and like, well, not really. There was racing in it though, and so he's very like kind of familiar with that sort of aspect of the culture. And they don't talk about the Falcon in that context, but it really is kind of pays homage to that old history. I don't know. I'm just such a fan of the Falcon, man. Now let's see if I can actually get these pieces to attach to each other. Because the last thing I want to do is overbuild the arm. So I'm not going to do that. I think where I'm at right now is where I'm supposed to be. Let me zoom this around. Because now I've built up the arm a bit, but I kind of stopped because I hit sort of a point. Okay, so that should be where I end up being right now. Let's just see. Let's just play around. I'm gonna play around with the proportions a bit. So if this is where it's supposed to attach initially, It might be one plate. It's probably not going to go on the first time. If this fits the first time, I'm going to be so happy. Hello, everybody. Hey, Andre. Thank you for saying it's a nice stream. I do feel a little self-conscious sometimes when I build these custom MOCs that are just like... they're just so out there in terms of how involved the build is and how slow I am. And it's like, you know, we're attempting... Okay, well, that was something. I think I'm going to get the elbow in first. Let's try that. Let's try that. Let's get the elbow in first, and I think the angle might have... No, the angle can't be off. So... Oh, this has actually got to be tilted. That's why. This angle was off. This underside stud here is actually supposed to attach to this, and then it's supposed to sort of be all flush. If I can get two studs to attach properly at the same time, that should, in theory, be enough to hold this on until I can at least tweak it. Okay. Did you know the two pointy things at the front are for moving cargo? Oh, you mean like they're pointy in the beginning. Oh, you mean like the entire shape? You mean like it's like a forklift or something? I did not know that. I mean, that's what I sort of assumed that you meant by that. No, yeah, okay, this is right. I think what I did is I added one too many plates. This elbow arm, I think, sticks out a little bit too much. I'm gonna compare it with the actual pictures of the MOC as well. I'm playing around with like several different ways of viewing this. Okay, so this should be in, yeah, like one more stud or two more studs or something. Yeah. So I've built it out a little bit too far, I think is the problem. I'm gonna take an entire brick off. Oop. Well, I just broke this off. I think that attaches this way. Okay. What's interesting about this is it's so if you've been watching any of the stream from yesterday, and you're watching it now. Actually, let's tilt this up. It's on a joint. That way I can see a little better. If you were watching any of the stream though from yesterday, you could probably have a pretty decent idea of like how difficult this thing is and how much it kind of wants to pop away from you and sort of break off, which is very true. It really does want to break away from you quite often. I don't even know. I just shattered. Whoa! I just shattered this whole thing. Come on now. If I can get this to attach properly. There. That's all I wanted. I wanted this to attach. I think that's actually proportional now. See how the entire arm just broke off? Once it's all in place, I feel like you can really start to get this thing to sort of work with you. But it all has to sort of be in place first. That's the problem. This thing really does have to want to work with you in the beginning. Once you're there, see what the heck. Now, I got the proportions to fit in. That's the proper stud picture. Now, where does this want to jump away? There's a piece that just wants to jump away. See, the arm's getting on there, but it is beyond... Ooh, okay, I think I'm just one... I'm gonna take that off one more time. I think I'm just one plate off. I think I just need one extra bit of stud work. I'm playing a little bit around with the proportions myself, to be honest. So, the instructions are there. No, not the instructions. The digital file is there. Just... Oof. Once everything's attached, it'll have a stud here, and it should have another connection point at the bottom, and then this whole thing should actually feel super solid. That's sort of the beauty of this, is like it's the complete delicacy all the way through, and then right at the end, boom, it should just feel like butter. And this thing should actually feel really swooshable once you're totally finished. Which is sort of the beauty of putting something together that's just so incredibly fragile. And then once you're actually there, it just feels like It just feels like it can do anything. So reminiscent of the actual ship, don't you think? Sort of. I'm kind of getting that impression at least. Now that, I think, should be the magical point. It is. It totally is. I got it. That's on. That's what it should be. Now for reattaching all the stuff I just broke off of it. I got the piece in place that I needed. Now can I actually get all the pieces, all the parts back on to the ship that I just snapped off of it? That's a different story. That's a totally different story. I'm not even gonna lie to you guys. I was working on this a little bit yesterday. Even yesterday, I was kind of like messing around with how this thing was supposed to go back together. I'm gonna get the LDD file out again and just see what was going on, because I broke off like, I don't even know how many chunks. I broke off several chunks though. Yeah. Yeah, I'm actually pretty happy with myself, not for getting too overwhelmed with the build. I mean, I did stop with this like I did stop this thing like a bit further back. Oh, interesting. Ooh. Actually, this part should be on here. I broke off another piece. I didn't even realize. Yeah, that's right. There we go. Oh, that's actually doesn't stick out too bad. Yeah, what? Oh my gosh. Okay, I can't fit this part on until I fit on another piece. Now, who is getting the UCS Falcon? This guy with two thumbs pointing at himself, except he's actually just building right now. Yeah, definitely getting the UCS Falcon on this side. Personally, I think the one thing I was hoping for was to get, I mean, okay, we got the unique print, and I think, and the body prints, I think, not just the face print, but the body print for like Leia and Han when they're out and they're messing with the Minox. Oh gosh, and I just broke this thing off again. I just broke that part off again. Oh, okay, gosh. Okay, this is we're in the thick of it, boys. Yeah, there was a little bit of disappointment in that, where I was thinking, oh, we could have gotten, some, maybe I really wanted to get a handless Luke. That would have been so awesome to have, a handless Luke. Come on now, don't tell me. You don't have to cut the hand, you just don't put a hand on it. Yeah. But it would have been cool, and like there was that great fan theory with Lando in Han's clothes. I think that would have been great if we'd gotten a Lando in Han Solo's clothes.
They made that glove and printed his part of the art, like from the Millenium torso, like in just like part print.
Yeah.
Just did not include the hand.
Yeah, they just didn't include the hand. Yeah, that would have been awesome.
Missing hand.
Yeah, that would have been great.
Just maybe instead of like having a hole in the arm of the torso, just like molded.
Oh, like an actual mold showing like.
There is like no opening for the hand.
That, gosh.
But that would be like.
That'd be dark.
Away from the minifig design.
Yeah, no. I mean, just having no hand in the figure would have been really funny. I think that actually would have worked really well. But anyways, yeah, they didn't do that. Maybe it would have been too dark. Maybe that just would have been like slightly too violent or something. I don't know. I mean, it's such an iconic part. And it would have been getting the characters in a place or in a situation that we hadn't seen before, which I think is also kind of significant in and of itself. Oh my gosh. I got that to fit. Oh my gosh, I got it to fit. It's such a tight fit. Oh my gosh. But it's there. So I got this in earlier, but this part was out. So now, why does that look a little bit funny? Let me just check the pictures, because that looks like it's sticking out just in a slightly funny way. And I want to make sure that we actually do have it in the prop. According to the, see, this is the thing. According to the whatchamacallit, the build, the LDD file, that works just fine. But I'm going to look at the pictures because the pictures... See, yeah, the pictures don't have it look like that at all. Or maybe if I just tilt it more. Maybe that's the thing. It's supposed to be at a much harsher angle. Maybe that's why it was hard to fit in the first place. Oh, yeah. No, I think that was it. I was just supposed to have it at a harsher angle. Okay, I think we're good. Yeah, I think we're good. Yeah, that looks... Oh, yeah, we are good. Because there's going to be a piece that fits into that little hole later. It's going to be one of the gastro pieces. But there we go. So we're starting to get... Dude, so complex. What did I do? Why did I decide to do this? Okay. Anyways. I really wish there was a instructions thing made for this. Alright. Can't complain the whole time. I can just complain a lot of the time. Alright. Let's see if I can't build up this next piece. Okay. Do a pretty similar build to how we did on the other side. This is actually almost a perfect recreation from the bottom panels that we built on the other side, so hopefully this should go pretty quickly. Hide some pieces. Okay. One by three. This is an actual expert set. This is a set that, if I'm being perfectly honest, if this was a set that actually had, let's say, just sort of a standard set of instructions, I feel like you wouldn't have to be the greatest builder to put it together. That's probably a fair statement. But yeah, this set, when you're messing around with it on your own, and you're messing around with it via just really intense, tiny little, just messing around with the smallest, most minute little portions, and you're deconstructing it from the outside in. It is not an easy thing. In fact, it's one of the more difficult sets I've ever attempted because of the context in which I'm approaching the build, not because the build itself is like the most insane thing on the planet, which it sort of is. It only sort of is the most insane thing on the planet. Oh, what the heck? You guys see that? I just broke a piece of Lego. I think I must have done this earlier. This was a piece that I took off earlier, but hold on. See if I can show you. It's broken! It's broken. Alright. Let's get that out. I need to cut my nails. See that? They're not dirty, they're just kind of long. Jack, how long do you think you will finish this mock? Technic Dylan, I have no idea. This was 4 hours yesterday, guys. This is like not an easy feat, so to speak. All right, I can't even get this piece off now. Oh, there we go. Got it, okay. I just broke that old piece of Lego. Mobby. Hey Jack, can't wait for the upcoming UCS Falcon. Are you going to upload an new mock this week? A new mock this week? Yes, possibly. Hold on, I'm gonna grab a... Where was that before? Oh wait, it was over here. I already grabbed it earlier. That's funny. I got up to find my jointed piece thing, but I was using them yesterday and I left it out on the table. Oh man, there's like hardly any short pieces left. You know what it was? I cleared out my stash of jointed pieces, or nearly cleared it out, because I was doing the Rick and Morty mock. And so I was using so many, oh, ooh. It just like ripped my nail backwards. Oh, it's gonna bleed. Should have cut my nails before this morning. Oh, dang it, that's bad. Dang it, man. I was just said how I should cut my nails and I just broke my nail backwards. I broke a nail! But yeah, let's see if I can do this without hurting my finger. Okay. Wow, this feels super loose. This joint, it almost wants to fall on its own gravity. I hope it can hold the piece up at the proper tension. I might have to... Let me just switch it out now if I can't find a stronger jointed piece. I don't know if it has to do with the black piece that I'm using or if it's the gray piece. No, it's probably the black piece I'm using. Yeah, this one feels just as loose. Okay, anyways, let's find out. Where is this going to attach itself? Okay, exactly where I thought it was going to. Okay, perfect. Now, let's turn this thing over. Yep. I'm gonna add one more of these plates. Now, somebody sent me, when I ordered these pieces, they sent me these 1x2s all stacked perfectly on top of each other. Ugh. I gotta say, it is tedious trying to get them all back in. Okay, so this, there we go. That should be right on there. All right. Now we've built up the next bottom hatch. It's all about fitting this arm, though, back on. This should fit just... What the... Really? Why'd that break off? Okay, it's supposed to attach on just by these two. Why do I feel like I can make a third connection? Because there's only 2 connection points right now, and they're both pretty weak in the grand scheme of things. I think I can make a third one, MacGyver it myself. Oh, yeah, because this one doesn't want to. They don't want to play games. They don't want to play ball. Dude, yeah. All right, I think I'm gonna do some of my own modification because there's only at this point. I thought there was gonna be a third connection point between. I thought there was gonna be a third connection point between these elbow joints and this, so we can actually have a strong point. But there really is only basically 2 different studs that hold the whole top on right now, and I can't find a third point of connection with some very subtle connecting pieces. Let me just research around this build, see if I can't find a third point. I don't think there is, though. I really don't think there is. Unless... Oh, there kind of is. No, there isn't. Never mind. Oh, that's annoying. Okay. I'm gonna do some sort of just research on my own on how this thing. Where's an open stud? Where's that gonna be able to attach another time through? Yep. Oof. It's almost better if I just do that now. Whew. Oh my gosh! This elbow just totally breaks apart. What? Oh man. That is rough. Okay. I just hope I'm putting it back together properly. Well, I've broken it so many times now that I feel like I think I can. Oh yeah. Alright. This top point here, yeah. Or not. Dude, I just completely shattered this elbow for like the 3rd time. One false move and the whole thing comes crashing down. Oh. Dude, I don't even know where I'm supposed to put this on now. No! Oh, wait. No, it's on the other side. Yep. Oh, man, I'm gonna have to rebuild this whole darn thing. Dude, I just shattered this whole thing. I have no idea how it goes back on. I mean, I've got an idea. No. I think I've got it. There seems to be like one major piece missing, and I'm not sure where. All right. Oh. All right. I'm gonna have to, like, unfortunately, I think I'm just gonna have to redo just like a big portion of the elbow. Maybe all of it. Because this thing just does not want to fit. And it doesn't really want to stay together either. It's got so many weird, weak connections that I'm a little bit afraid it might not work that well. Hold on, I gotta... Oh, sorry guys. I'm supposed to enunciate more when I live stream. Sorry if you can't hear me. I am just playing around a bit with this build. It's like, it's almost stumping me. I can't tell if it's supposed to be this weak or if it's just not able to withstand sort of the regular pressures that it's kind of going under. Because it's kind of stumping me in terms of how the heck this thing's supposed to go together. I thought it was so solid when I was working with it before, but if you get one little piece off, it does kind of just want to jump away. So I'm going to play around with hiding some pieces. I'm going to see if I can't get the head to reattach properly to this elbow. Hold on. Let's see. Oop. All right. I'm going to play around with the digital file quite a bit. Can you guys not hear me? Hold on. I think we're all right. I think we're all right. All right. Yeah, I think we're fine. Jang had to take down his videos. Yeah, I heard about that. Right, you guys are talking about Jang's videos getting taken down. Now, technically, I think he was all right. Not he was all right, but Lego was kind of messing with. They were kind of messing with his. It wasn't Lego necessarily. Like, Lego sent him the thing, but it was really kind of, they sent him a takedown notice on behalf of, oh snap, okay. They sent him a takedown notice on behalf of Disney. At least that's the theory. He doesn't say that explicitly, so I don't want to say that's what he said, but that is the current working theory, is that he was sent a takedown notice on behalf of what Disney wanted, which makes sense that that's who asked him. So yeah, it wasn't Jang's, it wasn't Lego necessarily. It's Lego, yes, but it's Lego through Disney, which is total beeswax. I mean, it really is still not really an excuse for why it happened, and it shouldn't have happened, but yeah, it really is kind of a bad situation though, because it's like, I feel like there wasn't a whole lot anybody could have done about it. He just got kind of struck because Disney said whatever, you know. But Disney, you know, like he's reviewing their product. Like I don't know why. It hurts them more than it hurts anybody else. I mean, it hurts. I mean, it hurts Jang more than it hurts anybody else, but. You know, it's like they're going out of their way to, it's them going out of their way to, I don't know, just make things worse for them. It doesn't really hold any water. All right, now let's see if I can't redesign. I think the head is gonna fit in a little bit nicer now, but see if I can't redesign these chunks of the arm. I don't want to take the whole darn thing apart, but this thing is really so weak. I'm like trying to think, did I make it that weak? I might have. I'm not going to rule that option out, that possibility out. But I really don't know what's going on with this. Oh wait, you know what? Why do I feel like that? Why do I feel like that looks a little bit funky? Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna hide some more pieces. See if I can do this, this. Okay. Now it did ask me, yeah, it asked me to do one more tile piece, which I think actually makes sense. So I'm gonna take this head apart one more time. Who wants an R-rated Disney film? It's gonna be R-rated. Why does it have to be Disney? I don't know. I feel like it doesn't make no sense. I mean, Disney has been less afraid to become a bit more adult or a little bit darker in their movies. I mean, like, Rogue One's a pretty good example. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know if we really need an R-rated Disney film. I feel like at that point, it doesn't have to be Disney to do it. All right. Who wants... What? BRB Jack. Yep, I'll be here. This is going to be a long one. It's going to be a long one, guys. This is crazy. All right. I think I'm going to be able to do this properly. And it asks for... Yeah, this all seems all right. I think I didn't break it up too much. I didn't mess up this build too much, but I am doing a bit of a redesign. It should keep this thing a little bit more solid. Okay. Oh, that's the part that came out. I found it. I found the piece that I couldn't figure out how to put back together. I just figured it out. Okay. This is like the craziest thing I've ever... I think this might be one of the hardest things I've ever attempted to build. Ever. And I'm trying to do it on a live stream. Yeah, I think it's harder than the Fox from Mock Nation. Yeah. I had... Fox from Mock Nation had one or two parts that were really, really tough. And they were tough also, like, even using the instructions, which I think... Yeah, to be fair, if I was doing this without the instructions... with the instructions, it might not be as tough as the Fox from Mock Nation, but because I am sort of working through this through like a... You know, I'm like trying to get it to work as best I can through just sort of taking it apart and putting it back together. I'm not sure. Yeah, I think this is probably harder. Ooh, here we go, though. I think I just got that piece back on. Oh my gosh, yes. Oh my gosh, yes, 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 yes. And then, I mean, this part still looks a little bit funny, but I think... Let's see how that fits into the other side. Okay, let's see. Hiding this clip piece. How does this look at it? Okay. Oh boy. Oh, I'm getting... Well, here, let me zoom this in, guys. If hopefully you'll be able to see some of the detail work that I'm doing. Now I'm doing a lot of the deconstruction from the LDD file. It's really really tough to kind of figure out what the heck is going on here. I've had trying quite hard to just get this to match up as best I can, but it is a little bit difficult. All right. I'm just gonna maybe zoom this all the way out because I'm kind of all over the build here. I don't really know if I can. Here we go. If I can get this. You know what it is? It's kind of interesting, but there's been a space built into the middle of this between the two different layers, and every time I mess around with each little piece, it wants to break away from itself because there's nothing for it to fall back against. I almost want to build an extra layer onto the inside piece here. I don't know if you can tell. There's this. Every time I play around with that little airtight space, all these parts want to just jump away and they want to break off. And I think that was the reason why this whole thing shattered out in the first place. Now I'm doing a double take through this build, and like for sure there is no sort of safety net for this build. So what I'm gonna do, I don't think it really needs a lot. I'm just gonna add just one little support piece. It's just the whole thing wants to keep breaking away. And I can't tell if it's not big enough or something. Maybe that's why the plate wasn't added. But let's see. Let's see if I just add another plate here. If that'll maybe help this whole thing out a lot. Maybe it won't help it out at all. I can't even tell. Gosh, yeah, this is quite a delicate little endeavor. Nah, I don't know if that's gonna help. I'm gonna take this out. Yeah, it's a little bit wider than a plate out there, so I think that's why the builder never put it in. All right, just experimenting. Just trying to get this thing to work. Whew. All right, I'm just gonna have to be really, really careful with the way this thing's handled. Yep, there's no two ways about it. You just have to be crazy careful. What's kind of disappointing is the rest of this MOC is just so strong and sturdy, and it feels good. But this part has been an absolute huge pain. So yeah, this should still fit back into where I was trying to get it to work from the last time. So we're almost right back to where we started originally. I do want to be able to knock these pieces back in. Just getting these last little pieces back in. It's crazy that it almost feels like they can make another connection point here. Oh, it's just off by like the tiniest amount of studs. I'm sure when this guy was putting it together, King Arthur, the original builder, was like, this looks good, but it's just so close. It's not quite there yet though. Let's move this around. See if I can't make a build out of this yet. Yeah. So let's add those pieces onto the edge here. And changing out any colors, I said at the beginning that I was going to change out a lot of the colors at the end and just be like, oh, I can add dark grays and light grays into certain areas, and I think that's still going to be true for some of it. But whenever I get this elbow done, I'm not going to touch it ever again. It's like, it is just too dang much. And I might even be able to use this little tile piece to get that stud in. Yeah. Alright. Because when we're looking at it, I really thought I could MacGyver and get like another stud. Just one more stud. But no, it looks like the elbow, the head, is going to be attached by exactly 2 stud points, and that is going to be it. A little disappointing. Super disappointing. Let's see if I can't get it to actually work. No, it's so dang close. Yep. Oh, okay, so that's in. And then that gotta come in this way. Oh, oops. That was. There we go. It's coming in at a weird angle. Come on, buddies. Come on, buddies. Come on, buddy. You can see how close it wants to get this. Oh, there it is. There it is. Whoop. Come on. Okay, there's one. And there is. I'm like negotiating it. Okay. And I can feel that it must have come out from the other side. Man, I went through this twice. I really did make sure that I was building it with all the proper specs, but it is one doozy of a build. Let's get this back in. It wants to break apart at pretty much any facet it can find. I think I got most of it. I think I got it. It's just really delicate. So yeah, there it is. It's in. There we go. There we go, yeah. So there it is. It's in. It's top point, and there's one internal piece. I don't even know if this thing will stay on if I turn it upside down. Yeah, it will, but it's crazy delicate. All right, guys. Well, that was a journey. That was a gosh darn journey. Oh man, it's on, and I took it apart and I put it back together. I got the elbow head to actually get at the proper angle. That was something that I got from this experience. But whew, are you kidding me? I want to come back at that some point later in life and make that stronger. But for now, let's just leave it at that. Gosh, that is crazy. This, where have you found this MOC? You can check the link in the description below. The guy who originally designed this, all his information is there. So if you do want to learn anything more about this, I am like determined. There is a way to get this thing to match up better. Okay, I'm gonna figure it out. I'm gonna figure a way out for this. This is not. You've not seen the end of this MOC. There's no way. The end of this attachment piece, because for everything else to work so well and for that to not is just, I've spent too many hours on that for this to not work properly. I mean, it does work right now. But it's getting by on the skin of its teeth. You know what I mean? It's just about nothing in there that actually is holding on very well. So let me get, okay, let's get the rest of this worked out. I'm gonna grab one piece. Okay, let's get some detailing on the sides here. I think I can zoom it back in. Okay. One, two, three, four, okay. I'm like bargaining with myself now. Sorry about that. It's totally out of the shot. I'm like bargaining with myself. Like, come on, you can get this piece in. Just one more piece here, one more piece there. All right. Now I think I need another piece in the front. Well, that's weird. It's the dark gray on this side, but it's asking me to use light gray on here, so they don't match up. But I think it would look better if they did match up. Let's see. I keep forgetting. Let's go through our parts piece. I followed the instructions on that, but I just disagree with the colors that it's telling me to use. I'm pretty sure I've got one of those pieces in here. I might need one of those later. Finding a lot of the similar pieces that I would need, but not the exact one. Now, I know the instructions are telling me, I just don't want to follow the instructions. Come on, guys. No, I guess we don't have that. So many in the proper color. Just not. Nope. All I need is one. All I need is one. No? No? Oh. No. Keep finding the... I found it! Okay, sweet. Wow. See? Never give up. Never surrender. Now, it's still not in the same... This is old dark gray, and that is dark bluish gray. These are actually slightly different, but it's better than the other light gray. Wow, do you think I was going to find that? I did not think we were going to be able to find that. Are you guys still on the whole support Jang thing? Yeah, no, it sucks. You know, that's his living, and it's a huge investment of time and money to do set reviews. It's not like you just do it for free. Yeah, and they basically I've summated it. Like in my own head, I've summed it up to kind of like, all right, they messed up, and they have this weird, like, there's this weird sort of bureaucratic thing where they're kind of like, oh, well, according to something that we wrote down on paper a while back, we need to make sure to keep all this stuff under wraps until a certain day. And they're kind of shooting themselves in the foot, because it doesn't make any sense for them to keep it wrapped up for so long. They just I mean, it's people reviewing their stuff for free and promoting their product. I mean, like, reviews and doing that kind of stuff, it's huge promotion for these companies. Yeah, they kind of are just, they forced their hand for, like, I don't know, for no reason. And the only people, when somebody makes a silly, it almost seemed like a silly clerical error, where they're like, oops, we probably shouldn't have shipped those sets out to the distributors early. Oops, we probably should have told the distributors that we shouldn't have had them do the reviews early. Oops, like, you know, they messed up on so many weird little aspects of the distribution system that it was like, and it was like people in the higher ups just kept on making these little mistakes. And who pays for it at the end? The people that, you know, really, really do spend a lot of time and effort. Like, you know, he spends a lot of time, effort, energy on making sure that, you know, the content, and everybody, I feel like, you know, the YouTubers in general, you know, they're really hardworking people, a lot of them.
So in our example, it would be a big win for us.
Oh my gosh, that would have been a huge loss for us. It's like, it's for, like, Jang is going to be okay, and I'm sure they're not going to be making mistakes, hopefully not making mistakes like this again, but especially for, like, smaller channels, it could be absolutely detrimental. I mean, like, you know, a huge release like this, a lot of time and effort and energy spent on making sure that, you know, your content is good and that you can get stuff early out and you can really, you know, like, this could be huge. It could be really, really damaging for people that all they're trying to do is they're trying to create good content, but they're also helping Lego. You know, like, bottom line is it's actually a really helpful thing for people to be reviewing Lego sets. It's good for the company. And somebody higher up, or maybe a handful of people higher up, just didn't have their chops down on scheduling. You know, it was probably a couple of emails that forgot to get sent out, and then who pays the price? But actual hardworking people that are on top of their game. So yeah, it's kind of unfortunate. Hey Jack. Hi Primex. Who thinks Jack should do Marvel ships and vehicles as well? Helicarrier, Milano, Quinjet, Lola, Dark Asher, Aster, Ravager. Yes. Yes, yes, yes. I think I should do those too. The only reason why I'm not right now is it's just what we've got in the pipeline right now. I wanted to finish this yesterday, but this build has turned into, well, if you guys been paying attention, it's turned into one of the more intensive, difficult builds that I've attempted, maybe ever. And you know, it wasn't just Jang that was asked to take down stuff. Other YouTubers were asked, and it doesn't. And he's I think, you know, more eloquent, and I think his video that actually talks about it is good. There's no point in boycotting, and there's no point in you know, getting too crazy about it. For the most part, I think Lego is pretty understanding about the fact that they messed up. The people that are higher up, that are actually within like community management development teams, like they know there's a problem. They probably know what the source is. We can only sort of guess, but they know, and it's bad for them when stuff like this happens too. It's not just bad for the creator. The only unfortunate thing is the people that suffer the actual financial cost of it are the actual creators. So that's, I think, the main thing that that is stressed, and it's gosh, it's probably so aggravating for them. You know, it's like, oh, somebody else didn't do what they were supposed to, and I have to eat the cost. Okay, great. You know, and that I was talking to somebody else about it yesterday, and you know, the fact that content creators are the ones that end up sort of paying for it in the long term, or in the short term, is it doesn't give the same incentive to the companies to change their mess up policies. Oh, you forgot to do this email, and all these other people that were technically not associated with, all these YouTubers, they lost out on their their video growth and their and you know, the time and effort and energy and money that they spent promoting our product. You know, like they don't have the same incentive when it's not their wallets that are feeling the initial cost of that. So I don't know. That was what my buddy was saying when I sort of mentioned to him what happened on YouTube, and he was like, "Oh, so the channel's not like Disney's not losing money on that? Oh, okay, well then, who knows? They probably won't change their policy the next time through. So that would be crazy, and no bueno if that ends up being the case. Okay, so there we go. I got this in the right spot. We're moving down through. I only have 2 of these darker ones. Once again, the ordering sheet for this was totally messed up, and I ended up getting quite a few of the pieces in the wrong colors. So some of the Falcon is going to look a little bit funny at the end. And actually, before I forget, let me just get the opposite piece built on right now. Maybe longer. Oh. So many little highlights. Okay. Just want to leave that in here. Just subbed. How long is it taking you? It's taking a while, sir. That's just the way. Just the way the news goes. Oh, nice. Okay. Let's see how many pieces. How long is it supposed to be again? I had this last time. I just can't remember. Okay, yeah, 8. 8 studs now. That's right. We're getting there. I'm actually really, really happy because we're actually getting pretty darn close. Alrighty. Jack, you should build the Back to the Future train. You know what? I saw that Back to the Future train, that MOC. Yeah, I think I know what you're talking about because I talked about it in the MOC news. It looks so cool, doesn't it? Doesn't it look really, really good? Yeah, that would be awesome to do the Back to the Future train. All right, now I remember this. All right. Actually looking pretty good. Yeah, I remember this. It's kind of an interesting bit of external detail build up here. That should be everything. So the way this is going to go, in an interesting way, it kind of all just rests here. Like, it kind of all just like stays suspended. Right? It would stay suspended here. And the reason why it stays is because these plates end up sticking into them. It's kind of a nice. It's actually a really clever way to put this together. So that actually stays right in there, and I've got the opposite piece stuck up onto the bottom. Let me get that in place first, and then this should all be gravy. Come on, bite up. What am I doing? Okay. Let's get this in there. So you gotta kind of, I mean, there's different ways to attach them, one way or another way or another. So that's all in place. And this should, oh, here we go, there we go. We're just about to get there. There it is. Now there's gonna be some interesting, fun internal details. Oh boy. I didn't even think about that. Okay. This might actually have to come off one more time. No. No. Yeah, this will. Oh, that's actually kind of feeling alright right now. Alright. I'm like just looking at it like, do I have to? Do I have to? Yeah, I do. Yeah, there's no way I can connect it with that. Okay, so. Alright. Well, what's up? It looked like it came out really easily though, didn't it? Okay, doesn't matter. Part of it's still in, and that's fine. We can keep that piece in there, I think. Alright. Let's see if I can't find it. I know I've got those last two inverted pieces. I remember I saw them yesterday when I was playing around. I know they're here somewhere. I know you're here somewhere. And you know what? I might actually wait to put this back on just because I'm going to be flipping this thing over a bunch. At least I know it can go on there. So I might actually leave this off until maybe the end. Maybe this will be the last step, is to get this neck piece back on. I think that is actually a better idea. And then I'll put this back on too as well. This thing I built on yesterday, but I've kept it off just because there are pieces that'll probably keep on breaking off. Now it looks like this the 1x2 inverted slopes. I know I had the other two. Okay, I'm gonna grab them. I've grabbed them. Two little pieces. Blah, blah. Boom, that was it. That was what I was looking for. These two. And they're gonna fit way in here. Oh man, this piece is already kind of coming off. I'm gonna take that out very carefully. Okay. Come on, buddies. Come on, buddy. There we go. Little inverted pieces. It's so cool when it's actually put together. And if I had sort of just come at this from a internal standpoint, if I had tried, I feel like there's probably a way to jump into this build maybe a little bit more responsibly. But you know, challenge is always Challenge is always fun until it becomes insane and totally overdone. But here we go. So we should have this as the last internal piece here that should really be causing a lot of problems. And once that's there, we should be all right. We should. No. Alright, yeah, there's gonna be one more plate piece. In fact, might even be able to just get 2 bricks. Come on now. There we go. Jack, do you like Thomas the Train? You know what? I don't know anything about Thomas the Train other than what I watched when I was a kid, but I don't remember it very well. Yeah, I can't say I remember Thomas the Train that well. I did see that one YouTube video that showed like that really dark episode of Thomas the Train where like that one guy gets like stuck inside a wall forever or something. It was pretty disturbing. But no, I don't know anything about Thomas the Train. Sorry. Come on, buddies. Okay, that actually it fits. If it fits, I sits. It is a little bit off. It bothers me. Dang it. The piece doesn't quite match up. See what I'm saying? Almost there. Yeah, this might very well be the hardest thing I've ever attempted to build. Just the situational piece with no instructions able to grow on their own. It's so cool though. Okay, the shape is just so good. It's just so good. I forgive it all. Okay. That should be able to stay though. Hopefully, we can get that to work. So I'm gonna get all these pieces to come back. All right. Let's see what type of smaller builds we've got in here. I think some more tap pieces as well. Did we run out of taps? I don't think we did. Oh, they're over back here. Oh, and those were those inverted pieces. Do you can say word in German? Test to say this. It means door. Door? I don't know. I can't speak German, man. I don't speak German. I don't sprachen the Deutsch. If you lack of better terms, I'm sprack-a-lackin'. Yep. I just said sprack-a-lackin'. No apologies. Let's see what we got. Let's go around with a few more of these upper builds. Oh boy. Now this internal piece is actually a little bit different than what I was initially expecting. So there's quite a few more of these sort of wedge parts that we're going to be messing around with. A lot more, actually. Ooh, once these, oh man, I'm so excited for this crossbar to finally get put back in place. Oh, it's gonna be so much better. Okay, let's see if I can get this. few more elbow pieces. I think I've expended them all. I'm gonna grab 2 more little elbow pieces. Boom! Elbow pieces. That's not what you're supposed to call them. That's what I call them. Interesting. Okay. Right. I can see how those are gonna fit together. Let's get this set up. Favorite Star Wars movie is The Force Awakens. I gotta go with Return of the Jedi, sir. Yeah, I'll probably go Return of the Jedi for sure. Okay, this is where that elbow piece needs to be. Okay. Switching on sort of shape. Goes in there. So many tiny pieces. Need to get some more tiles. More tiles! Has anybody watched the GGS playlist on Lego I Am Groot channel? I have no idea what you're talking about. There it is. There's that wedge piece I've been waiting for. Oops. Maybe the opposite of that. There we go. Wait a second. Which wedge piece do I need? Let's just look. This is the one I need. No. This is the one I need. Okay. Oh my gosh. That's the piece right there. Oh, okay. I've been building into the upper layer when really there should be a lower one that I should have built into already. But I think we're gonna be there. I think we're gonna make it just fine. Okay. Let's get that second one on. And in fact, let's get some of those larger pieces out. I think this is almost an exact replica of the other side. I just want to make sure that they haven't switched anything up too drastically. Yeah, I don't think they have. In fact, I'm pretty positive that they have not. Which means that should be alright. I just want to make sure that the internal pieces, yeah, the internal pieces are still all there in the right spot. Amazing. Okay, this is it. Get some more of that under there. out. Long live Revan. The Potatoes movie? What are you guys talking about? What are your thoughts on the new UCS Falcon? Do you think it's worth $800? That is a very subjective question, but and it really, oh gosh, it really does just have everything to do with what you want. It's going to be a set that is probably going to be the most epic Lego Star Wars ship builds that they're like ever going to attempt, pretty much. That's pretty significant. I think the quality of the build is, I mean, the quality of the build is there. You know, if I didn't think it was going to be a set that people were really going to like, or if I thought that the build was lacking in like any way, no, $800 would be insane. But I don't think the build is lacking. I don't think that that's the case. And you know what? I just attached this, but there's a little bit of space, oddly enough. So you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to break some stuff out. Actually, that can stay. This top piece always likes to chunk out. But come on, buddy. I can feel it. There it is. Cannon can come out. I'm going to break this part out. Okay, this piece can still stay. But I'm going to break this piece out. I got there. I got to the place in this build that I wanted to get, and it just looks like the interior piece is going to be one plate off once again. So all I want to do is reinforce. See, I put this together. These are solid now, but there's a little bit, there's a space. There's one plate of space there that kind of expanded. Which, if you play around, it doesn't have to be expanded out. And I've spent so much time on this build already that I just would feel terrible if I did not try to solidify this up. I thought I'd already added an extra plate piece as well, but I don't think it was enough. Well, obviously it wasn't enough. So there's the one piece, and then let's see if I can't. This is like such a high dexterity. Your dexterity skills need to be maxed out if you want to finish this anytime soon. There it is. There it is. Oh my gosh, that looks so much better now. Ooh, and it even fits in like much more solid. Cool. All right. Now I broke out this tiny little piece on the corner. Ooh, this one was a doozy. I do remember that one being kind of a pain. Gosh. Gosh darn. Okay, actually, let's back in. All right. Wait, no, it's not. Does it feel so... This is actually kind of a nice thing about having larger tile pieces. You can kind of just use a tile piece usually. Kind of just snap in a little stud if you really need to get into a tighter corner. They're so thin usually that you can really play around with that. Ooh, yeah, let's just take that out. That's easy. Yeah, that's fine. Let's put that back in. And let's do this. Okay. Probably gonna need to take that out one more time. But we are good. See how much of this build I just kind of keep on having to just pry open and then put back together and pry open and put back together. But once you get there, it does feel pretty good to get to this point though. Now we're starting to really feel like this thing's solid. That looks a little small. It is. It's a MIDI scale. Don't you like the matted back? I love this color. I think this looks really good. Looks very nice. Very nice. Okay. Anywhoosums, let's keep working on this. Get this thing looking and feeling as falcony as possible. So there's a bit more detailing that I feel Now, this is going to be pretty much covered up when this thing comes back on. It's going to come back on at this angle, like that. It's actually going to feel just about perfect. Not going to be pretty much any other detailing that needs to go on there. But I'm not going to put that back on because it's pretty darn delicate if you guys have been paying attention. So I'm going to wait on putting that back in. And in the meantime, this piece is sitting there, which kind of needs to come out like that. And then looks like there's one more sort of plate piece. Let me just make sure that I'm looking at this properly. Where the heck is that? Yeah. Yeah, the designer put like a plate floating in space, which doesn't make any sense. I think what they meant by that is there should just be a flat plate here. But it's just kind of floating in space in the actual build. That's close to this area, but not the same. Okay, I think that's what they meant by it. So a little bit of ambiguity, still kind of hidden throughout here. It's not too bad though. Okay. So now we've pretty much done what we wanted to do on the top. In the aspect of taking things apart, I accidentally broke this little plate wedge down. I'll fix that later. Let's flip it over. Yep, there's quite a bit still to get right on the bottom. So I'm gonna flip it over on the other side. Will you live Big Apple? How live I New York the Big Apple? What are you saying? Okay. So we have a few more wedge pieces. Let's match it up. Match it up and match it out. Okay. Sorry, there's one more wedge piece. Keep on getting a little bit crazy trying to almost, it's really hard when you're building something that's like one of the hardest things you've built and then you're like, oh yeah, I should probably show people on how I did it. Yeah, you can get a little bit distracted on how it works. Let's see. Fortunately, the bottom underside looks like it's about the same. Looks like it's in about the same place as the other one. Getting these put together, and it shouldn't be too insane. And yeah, I got most of my pieces I got from one vendor. It looks like several of the colors I think were actually off in the LDD file, and I didn't properly check it, but so many of these pieces are squished together. How do you get that off? You gotta use, I don't know, you gotta get a few of these. Sometimes you can get away with just using two, but you might need more. Something like this, especially like these old pieces. So see, you can sort of see, okay, yeah, I got that in there. There's one. I'm gonna need two more. Yeah, let's get these two separated. You gotta keep them separated. Okay. Then you can just, if you can find that lift, there we go. See, it took three to get that one open. Oh man, if I dropped this thing on the ground, I would just be done. I'd be like, yep, it's staying broken. I'm not putting it back together. Whew. This looks good though, doesn't it? I'm gonna zoom this out a little bit, give you guys an idea of how this works. All right. There's actually, even these dark ones on the bottom here are still dark. Okay. Or still, they're not light gray, they're dark. They should be dark. Let's add a little bit more solidarity to the whole thing. Okay, okay. maybe I'll just hide all the parts on one side and be able to build up 2 different builds all at the same time. Okay, what goes on the other side of this? Oh, nice. All right. Oh, interesting. I think I used a plate piece a little bit too long. Oopsie daisy. Need to break that off. Put that back on. Plate piece needs to be a little shorter. Yeah. I'm gonna do the same for this. What? He had made a video about it way before Lego announced it. Who, me? I mean, we were sent pictures, so we were able to make a video about it as Lego announced it, not before. Unless they were late, but we were very much on the same page in terms of getting a video out. We didn't do anything before Lego, unless they didn't post, but I'm sure they did. I didn't check. Oh man, I just knocked this thing out of place again. I'll just get everything built and then do all the little mini fix-ups at the end. Whew. I don't know if I'm ever going to attempt a mini scale size like this unless I've got a legit grasp on either instructions or something, or something's going to change after today, I tell ya. All right. Bring it up there. I'm running out of pieces. Okay. How much longer is the stream going to be? I have no idea. Fortunately, we've hit a point where it's like actually I feel like we're out of the woods. Doesn't it feel like that? Like I think I've hit a lot of the hardest parts of the build now. And I'm going to be building up this layering system, which is actually quite simple, fortunately. And then shouldn't have too many problems after this. In fact, hopefully none. This has been by far the most difficult thing ever. It's like the craziest. Mad respect to the person who put this. Okay, no, I'm not gonna mess with that. That's too. This piece is too much. I'm gonna pull this part out. Pull this piece out. Come on now. Wow. That is a rough one. Yeah. That layer was a little bit too much. It's gonna mess too much with the build. Maybe if I push this forward ever so slightly, then it won't get in the way. Yeah, I'm gonna do that. I don't think anyone's gonna mind. This layering system is so tight. Some of these top wedge pieces break out a little bit. Yeah, they do. Alright, let's do some of these 1x4s. Okay. Yeah, it's kind of amazing actually that I can get in the way there. Okay. Now I'm messing around with the wedge pieces here at the bottom a little bit. They're offset by just the tiniest amount. But I'm looking at the build, and there's just not enough space for these plates to actually fit in on each other. So I am going to leave it at that. Still does look amazing. Okay. There's one. Oh wait. Wait. I messed that this wedge has to come back out. And then this angle. There we go. How many little wedge pieces are left? Not too many. Why am I unable to find the one I'm looking for? I had so many in the beginning of this. Oh, here we go. It's good to see that I'm running out though, because now I know I'm like almost done. Oh yeah. Okay. Alrighty. Oh, this is kind of cool. Let's get a few more of these smaller pieces. Thrown in, and then another little tap. Tap, tap. Ooh. Oh, of course, I'm breaking off the cannon one more time. Well, I think I ran out of the 1x1s. Fortunately, I got a few more of them. Hey guys, you back? Who here is from the city of England? Okay. Wait, why are these? Oh, these are too light. These are lighter gray. Let's try that again. It's with some regular light gray. Light bluish. We need a UCS Imperial shuttle from Rogue One. I heard that that is eventually going to be coming. Yeah, that should eventually come. I would very much like to see that. It's not like the most compelling shape for a ship, but it is pretty significant within like the universe of the story. So I feel like that would be still a good thing to have. Did I run out of tap pieces? No, this is the last one. Okay, there we go. All right. What do you guys? I feel like I heard something. It's a twister. YouTube is banned at your school. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, it's like not for inappropriateness. It's just so darn distracting. I feel like that in and of itself is good enough. Ooh. Keep on bringing out more trays of pieces. Huh? Yeah, just so many. Oops. Actually, you know what? I messed this little part up. We're getting there. This thing is like, dude, this thing is like insanely hard. I semi-regret trying to put this on a live stream just because it's such a slow-paced build. I mean, even Lego building sets is slow-paced, you know what I mean? Oh, wait a second. Actually, that was not in the wrong spot. That was in the right spot, and the other one was out. This should actually be spaced. This should work it out like that. That's what we're looking at. Here we go. So soft. Okay. What Lego Rocket Raccoon? What if Han Solo comes back in episode 8? LOL. Yeah, with robotic legs. I thought that was kind of ridiculous that they brought back Darth Maul. That didn't make any sense. I feel like it could have been okay if they brought back Darth Maul, but in the actual episode 2. I feel like him growing as an evil villain would have been way cooler. He was such like a cool aspect of the original sort of series, you know? But they didn't bring him back, and it just wasn't as cool. Back any more pieces. Can you guys send me a hi? A hi, hello. Is there actually anything from the Lego Ninjago movie that's accurate to the sets? Oh, you mean all the sets look different in the movie? Probably not. But you can't blame them. They want their stuff to look as cool as possible in the movie, and a lot of the time that's just not logistical to turn into a Lego set in the grandest scheme. So, no, I don't think it's a problem though. Okay. Okay, look at that. Now we've built up the main layers down here. Hello to your grandmother. All right. Now it looks like we're going to be building something almost exactly the same as this piece that's meant for the top, but we've got a similar shape that's going to be coming down here through the bottom. So let's see if we can't put that together now. Woo! Where are all these little tile pieces? Now all the organization is gone. It's all totally messed up now. I've been messing around too often. Too much with the older pieces. Here we go, that's the part I was looking for. Where is the cockpit? Cockpit's right here, and this thing's upside down at the moment. Cockpit has been the arm has been the most, this is just such a nutty build. I mean, it stays on once you get it there, sort of, but this is a no-touchy build. Once you finish it, it is display all the way. Okay, I'm starting to build up this bottom inside piece. The Manta Ray Bomber looks pretty similar. What? To which one? Alright. Grab a few more of these. So many new parts that I need to still keep adding. Okay. Deleting some parts again. So what we got. What's on the underside of this whole bonanza? It looks about like the exact same thing we were doing before. Okay. Very similar, at least, to the... It's almost the exact same structure as this. Oh, here they are. I was looking for these ones. Will you be releasing instructions for this MOC? No, this MOC is actually not mine. And I'm working just from a digital designer file. So I've just got the 3D model, and I'm just taking the 3D model apart digitally and figuring out how it gets put together through that way. So there's no instructions for this, and they're not mine. I have left a link, though, to the original builder who designed this. So if you do want to try to attempt this, it's literally like it's the first link in the description for this video. And I'm telling you right now, whoo, not an easy one. Not an easy one, not at all. It's cool, it's amazing. It's one of the best MIDI scale ships I have seen ever. But it's also one of the most difficult builds I've ever been a part of building. It really is all kinds of intense, but hopefully that is a good thing though. Okay, see that. Yep, we're getting there. So, okay. Bring that out. Kind of trying to smash all these pieces together without them turning into too much of a problem. There we go. There. That should all fit decently well. Any more tile pieces? Maybe, maybe not. There you go. Let's get that together. And there. Okay. Okay, that's right. So now we're doing all right. I have finished off. This is basically what the bottom portion looks like. And now we're going to try to fit all of these together into one solid-ish build. Oh, interesting. Let's see where that fits on. Woohoo! All right, I found almost like a hidden compartment. That's where the attachment point's going to be. As I'm deleting pieces, I can see where they're going to put them. Oh my gosh. It's crazy that like I'm almost like halfway discovering, oh, it's going to attach this way. Like, not like it tells me that that's how it's going to work. I just kind of have to figure it out through diffusion. Okay. So this piece is going to fit on. Ooh, so that's a totally different connection point. Okay. Oh yeah, that's right. Okay, okay. We're figuring this out. That doesn't attach to anything. Okay. Ooh, wait, it does. Ooh, snap. Dude, it's got two different joint connections. That is intense. Alright. That I was not expecting. All right. Gonna have another joint connection piece. Guys, this is crazy. I'm not a fan of Star Wars, but this is better than the real sets. It is. It totally is better than the real sets. This is way more difficult than the real sets. Oh my gosh, it is more difficult than the real sets. But it is definitely better. This is crazy. I have never, ever been able... Okay. So it's going to actually have two different jointed connecting pieces at the bottom here. So at some point it's going to be able to basically, it's going to be able to fit in this way. But it's got to connect to two different spots. How nuts is that? Fitting that in on its own is going to be, oh, okay, whatever. It's going to be, you know, this is advanced. It's just advanced building, that's all. All right. So let's see if we can't. Ooh, what's this? Oh, snap. Oh, cool. So this is really solid already, but there is a spot where you can fit another piece kind of across, sort of. How necessary is that? Not that necessary. In fact, I'm going to hold off on connecting those pieces to maybe a little bit later. All right, so let's get rid of these connection pieces. Whew. All right, let's do that, kill it all. All right. Here's Johnny. All right, guys. Yeah, I really should set up a digital thing that can connect to the laptop so you can see what the heck else is going on. So I do feel bad that you can't, yeah, I do feel bad that you can't get this thing, that you can't see it the same way I can. Okay. Ooh, I know where this is going to attach. Wait a second. I know where this is going to go. This, in theory, should... Actually, first of all, it's supposed to attach this way. I believe that is attached here. Oh, wait, no, it's attached further back one. Yeah, I think that's right. I believe we're there. Now, the proportions feel a little bit off now. This used to be able to fit on the top without having any trouble. Why do I feel like... Alright. This feels like they build it out one stud further. Or cut it off by one stud. Doesn't that feel like I could do that? feel like it should do that, right? 'Cause it doesn't bend down. That's what it needs to be able to do. Alright, let's look at the top. Make sure that I count the proportions correct. Whoa. Oh, I see. Yeah, I just attached this to the wrong spot, that's all. Okay, that makes sense. Yeah, because it used to fit before, I just attached it to the wrong spot. Okay. Oh. All right. That actually has the shape pretty darn well. Gosh, this thing is so heavy. I mean, even for such a small size. Dude, this thing's so cool though. I just love the shape. It looks dope, doesn't it? Doesn't it though? Doesn't it just look amazing? I'm particularly pleased with the way this thing's actually turning out. Oh my god. Oh, it looks like... Oh, okay. Okay. I think I know what this thing's trying to do. That's too much, though. Really? I mean, I don't see the point in this, but... Alright. I'm gonna have to take one side off in order to fully grasp and appreciate what this thing is telling me I should be able to do. I don't know if it's a good idea, but that's where we're at. So it's telling me, I think, in theory, because it looks like it's missing a connection point. I'm pretty sure a 2x2 is supposed to go on the other side of that. It doesn't honestly say. Yeah. It says... I don't know if that's possible, but okay. It's telling me that I think I should be able to connect the middle points. What? This is so funny. It's like it's the instructions. The LDD is like this particular point in the LDD is not complete. So there isn't. It doesn't show all the connection pieces in the same way. But I think I know what it's trying to tell me to do. In theory, this should work. So I've got another connection point here. I should be able to attach them to each other. And then the two angled bits, this part and this part, should be able to connect seamlessly. No, but look at all that space. Yeah, what the heck? Why is there so much space there though? That space is gigantic. Let's just say I can get this part back on. Come on, buddies. Come on, buddies. Come on, buddy. I ain't your friend, buddy. Okay. Then that part, in theory, because there is some space between the front. Yeah, there should be some space. Yeah, it shouldn't be closed off. Oh. Come on. I can see where the points should be able. No, that's too much. Wait for it. That's where it should be able to fit. But it's unable to. Okay. Feel like I need a 3x3. Mike, do we have 3x3s in the studio? I'm gonna check for a 3x3. I think that's what we need to do. I think that's what we need, 3x3, and we should be able to get that connection. Yes, I found him. We don't really usually have a lot of 3x3s. I think we have it this time. Who here have an Xbox 360? Not me. Actually, wait a second. I think I do now. My new roommate has one. Oh my gosh. Okay. So the bottom's actually fine. This top part needs to come out and needs to have a redesign. I just need to make sure I'm building the right piece into the right spot. So I want to have it fit into this area. Alright, I know it needs to get taken out. This is so meta. It's not a good word for this, but it just needs the tiniest amount more space there. Normally, the difference between those pieces isn't really anything, but this time around, it actually is kind of everything. Okay. So now, in theory, this should be able to fit. This, oh yes. Wow. That is so unexpected. I can't believe that it got, because there's supposed to be a space there. Look at that shape. Now it comes down a little bit low there. Ooh yeah, you can see that kind of breaking out somewhat. Now is that too low? Looks a little bit too low, but I will not be the immediate judge. This is what it told me to do. I'm trying to think. Just make sure that this is in the right spot. Yep, it's all in the right spot. Okay. Alright, it's there. That is what it should be. According to that, it should have that big of a space. Kind of doesn't feel like that, but yeah, I think that actually works. Okay. I'm going to stop analyzing it. If it feels a little bit weird when I finish, I can always modify it later. But that is what the instructions are telling me. The semi-incomplete instructions are telling me. Okay. Alright. Oh my gosh, we're so close to the end here. Let's turn this thing over. Now, I'm going to build for like 1 more hour, but I actually do need to make some important phone calls after this. So, hopefully I can actually get to the end of this on the stream. We're pretty much there. If I can't get to the very end, I will show you, and then a custom build episode will appear that will look a lot nicer, and you'll be able to see everything that you wanted to see on this build, but just much faster. That's the idea, at least. Alright. Now, there's a million little pieces for the landing gear. Guys, I'm going crazy! Question mark? You going crazy? Whew. This has by far been the weirdest couple of stream days I think I've ever done or attempted to do. Alright, now we're going to build a ton of the landing gear. The landing gear actually looks great. I really do like the landing gear. There's going to be 8 of these little things that kind of come out. Ooh, you subbed to the Instagram too? Snap. Hello, Piggy. What are you doing? Jack, can you do some fan mock live stream builds and reviews? Oh man, Yeah, the fan MOC stuff is cool. You know what? We've been getting so many cool fan MOC stuff, and I keep on wanting to make a fan MOC episode, like as a regular thing. But in terms of just like how much time we have at the end of each week, I'm just like, oh, it would be like spending like another Saturday afternoon guaranteed in the studio for forever, basically, because it's like a weekly thing. So I'm not sure if I'm ready to take that plunge. Jack, can you do some fan MOC? I was just reading that one. Love you, Jack. Thank you, Charlie Binks. Love your vids. Thank you. Jotum. Is that D silent? I feel like it would be. Boom. All right, let's get this through. Okay, bunch of the little ski. I like the little ski pieces. These, I think these actually look kind of good. Like these fun little parts down here. Oh wow, it's really showing up nice and bright now. All right. Now these are gonna get even crazier. We have a million little clip pieces. And these clip pieces are going to attach 2-time fold. So if there's 8 of these, I need 16 clips. And in theory, I might be able to just use all the old clip pieces. I think that's better. DJ Jotum is how it's pronounced. Gotcha, DJ Jotum. DJ Jotum. If you say it really fast, it can just sound crazy. Bricktober 2017 sets. Ninjago movie, Batman movie, City Pack, Star Wars, Last Jedi. Dang, yo. You got some info over there. Oh man, come on. I need to zoom in. I'm not able to see what I'm supposed to build. Whoa. And of course, it's so slow. Okay. This thing is so crazy. This LDD freezes up so much, man. I know, like, people have told me LCAD works a lot better, which I'm inclined to believe. Oh, are you kidding me? Dang it. This is the problem working with the digital files. I built all these little things wrong because the digital file didn't show me until I started deleting more pieces. Oh, that's annoying. These pieces aren't even coming apart. Never gonna let you. Please stop live streaming and go back to videos. We produce a video every day still. We never stopped our production of videos, Lexify Productions. We literally just added live streaming to what we already do on the channel. So I feel like some people have been sort of confused by that. Well, I think you are probably a little confused by that. We haven't actually slowed down the amount of videos we produce for the channel, like, at all. It's been exactly the same. If not, we've even gotten faster. Recently we did have the little bit of a slowdown just with the whoa. Okay. Recently we did have a little bit of the slowdown with just the whatchamacallit. Why am I getting, I'm like trying to concentrate that. We had a slowdown with all those new Ninjago sets, but we actually haven't made any less regular videos. For the longest time, it was just a video a day, back when it was like just me editing. And then since Mike's come on, we've been live streaming, but we've also been doing, there's been many days we do 2 videos in a day, or if it's like really crazy production and there's like lots of stuff coming out, we could even get 3 videos out. So we've never stopped producing videos. We released 2 videos today, and also that designer video we were lucky enough to get from a media pack. So technically 3 videos of ours have already come out today. So if we're not producing enough videos for you, I don't know what else to tell you. They're like, can you just go back to making videos? I'm like, when have we stopped? Mike's looking around like, what? It's funny. like, we made 3 today. What more can you ask? Yeah, and we're back on the collection videos this week. If you can't tell, I did Dumbledore. We did the Cowboys. I want to do Simpsons next week for the big one. Spoiler alert. Yeah, so we're back on it, man. We're back on the bigger videos. We're on the small ones. Star Wars Star Wars Last Jedi comes out tomorrow, so you can darn well guarantee we're doing a Last Jedi set for the live stream. So unless they're sold out, they're not going to be sold out. I live very close. I'm going to make sure I get there, and yeah, we shouldn't have any problems with that. Bo, how long have you been doing this? You know what, Nathan? A long time. We've been doing this. This was 4 hours yesterday, and I'd spent about an hour just messing around with the build on my own before the stream. And it's been probably one of the most intensive and difficult builds that I've had the pleasure of attempting. It really, mostly contextual. What I mean by that is that I'm working just from the digital file, and the digital file is always a bit more difficult, but just in terms of this particular one, there's some incomplete areas, some parts that don't match up quite the same way, and it's also just it's also just a bit more just kind of crazy and out there. So you know, every time I discover a hidden bit of support beam or structure, I've got to kind of take the whole thing apart again. Whereas, let's say I was working just from a digital file doing the Adventure Time treehouse build. That was just from somebody's digital file. That was a much more straightforward sort of brick stacking kind of build, so I didn't have to go back and take pieces out and put pieces back in again, which I've had to do almost every step of the way. Every step has been take apart the last 2 or 3 steps, put another thing in, put it all back together, then see if you can do it all over again. So that's what this build has been. I feel like maybe if I tried on a different computer, I could get this thing to build on its own without it crashing. But LDD kept on crashing on me, and I just couldn't get the build going with the automatic instruction building. All right, so now I've been able to build up a lot of that base, a lot of those little landing gear. What's that? Now a lot of little 1x2s. Let's do this. Let me grab some more 1x2s. So the next time you guys see a mid-scale build, just know that it could be just as difficult, if not more difficult, to actually make as a Lego builder. Mid-scale builds ain't nothing to mess with. There should be 5 landing gear on the Falcon. There are only 4 in this MOC. Should there be another one right in the front? I don't know. I can't think of that right now. I don't know. You very well could be right though, sir. I am unaware as. Now it looks like we're building another set of turrets again at the bottom, which makes sense. I think there would be. What do you use to make live streams? The software is OBS. And then we've got other little things set up to make sure that we can see if people are following or if people are donating or whatever. There's a few other little tiny programs, but OBS is like what you would need if you wanted to start live streaming like tomorrow. It's the software. Whoa, let's see, has been... Okay. Which Star Wars sets? Tomorrow, I want to live stream. Mike, do you think we can get away with 2 lives? No, it's Friday. We can't do 2 live streams. Yeah, we can't do 2. Do 2. We can't do 2. No, we can't. We can't do 2 live streams tomorrow. But I want to say we can get. Ooh, interesting. Okay. Yeah, we'll definitely do 1. I don't know which one though. You're on top 10, right, for tomorrow?
Yeah.
Do you want to live stream tomorrow?
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
I have my MOC.
Okay, so you've been working on that now. Okay, that makes sense. That's good. Okay. That makes sense. All right. All right, I'm building the bottom layer now. Thing's always a little bit funny. Honestly, I don't think it's gonna be that much. And we're pretty darn close to the end, actually. We are pretty darn close. Cool, Bricks. I still don't see how it stands by itself. You talking about this? Or are you talking about somebody else's build? This is going to be able to stand pretty easily, I think. The landing gear is surprisingly... There's surprisingly a lot of it. Okay. Let's put that down. Interesting. Will you live stream all the Last Jedi sets when they come out? Yes. Yes, we will. Not all on the same day, obviously. But we will live stream. Not every single one will be a live stream. Ooh, wait a second. For the Last Jedi. Because I kind of want to do maybe 1 or 2 over the weekend as well. So those won't be live streams. But a lot of them will be live streams, yes. This is kind of interesting. Oh, snap. Okay, yeah. Yeah, that's gonna attach here. Yeah, it's gonna be where that level is gonna be able to go there. But right now I'm gonna hold off on that for now. We gotta build everything that goes underneath it. What is all this stuff that's gonna go underneath? Okay, we're all on the same page, just about. Is that a brick? It's a full-on brick. Not too many full bricks in this, but we got one in here. Do I have any left over? I do. Let's put a nice big fat red brick under there. Okay. And that's the one, right? So this red brick is going to go right here. Okay. It's so weird trying to build everything sort of off center. But I don't know what else to do. And then what goes next to this fat brick? Are these full-on bricks? They are. Okay. Oh, hold on. I got a phone call. I am going to answer this, so sorry, hold on 1 second. I'll be right back. put the intro back on for a second. I meant to hit the other camera. Sorry, that was a crazy important business call, but I'm gonna answer. I'm gonna do. No, it's just a fun little phone call. All right. I hope that I can finish this. I do want to finish this by 2 though, because I'm actually supposed to be ready on the phone for another phone call by 2. Basically, when I get to like 1:40, I'm gonna turn it over, get the. Ooh, sorry, I thought I was back down here. I'm gonna turn it over and get this piece back on, and try to get this as complete looking as possible. It's the craziest thing ever. This has been by far one of the more challenging builds that I've ever attempted or tried to attempt. But yeah, craziness. Okay. Okay, let me just make sure that that's all in the same spot. Okay. So this should, in theory, go here. Yes. Dude, this is nuts. True. Totally his girlfriend. That was not. No, that was not. It was not, sirs. It was actually. It is actually a really cool business opportunity. I'm not gonna lie. It does. No, like, just like a fun thing. I don't even know if I could call it a business opportunity. Just like a fun opportunity to do a cool thing. But no, that was not. It's not my girlfriend. Okay. So these should all. How much higher does this need to be? Oh, wait a second. That should be able to fit. Oh my gosh. I should actually be able to fit. I've built it up to the proper size that I actually need it to be. Amazing! Okay. This makes me happy. Because I'm happy. Okay. Yeah, let's see how much of the... okay. Right. Okay. We're good on this. Whew. This has been. I feel bad, guys. I feel like this is not the kind of live stream I want to generally be putting out. I feel like we could make better live streams happen in the future. Been doing so much crazy weird building today. All these layers are just so all over the place. Okay. Okay, here we go. This is kind of an interesting way to do things, but there's also some wedge pieces that fit underneath here. What is this? Oh my gosh. I've never in all my years been so all over the place with a build, or just been messing around on so many weird little levels. Can you guys tell what I'm even trying to do? Like trying to build the opposite sort of layers, looking at everything as the pieces disappear on the outside. I have to try to figure out how they go together on the inside. Jack, what do you think of the problem with Jang Bricks? Shark Pig Studios. Hold on, I'm going to answer that. I'm grabbing a piece. Yeah, it sucks what happened to Jang. What happened to Jang also happened to other LEGO YouTubers. Anybody basically... well, the weird thing is that it didn't happen to all of them. It happened to like some of them. So it happened to Jang and it happened to a couple other people's. But yeah, like yeah, didn't get struck. It was basically an email that was like basically going to say we're going to strike your videos for copyright or something if you don't take down your reviews. But it's like he bought them legally. Like, I don't know. The whole system is messed up. And I actually have a planned video for the news. We're going to, because we do Sunday weekly news, I'm going to talk all about that weird strike. Not all about it. I'm going to mention it and have a little bit more of a clear, concise sort of viewpoint on it. But basically, it's a problem. And it's totally messed up, and the worst part about the problem is that when Disney or whoever is in charge, we don't know exactly. I mean, we do know that it did come from Disney, the initial strike, but the initial idea of striking came from them. But I think the main part of the problem is because it's YouTubers that get affected whenever they make a scheduling error, which I think basically at the core of it was just a clerical error on their part, and then they ended up being like, oh no, people have stuff that we don't want the reviews out for yet. They made that mistake, and then the YouTubers and whoever are content creators and reporters and stuff, those people end up paying the price. And if it's them not paying out of pocket for their mistakes, aside from a little bit of bad PR, which is not really in the biggest sense that it's not going to be that huge of a deal, not unless they really start hurting people, then I don't know if they're really going to change it. I don't know if that's in their prerogative, or, you know, they probably have a cost, like a cost versus benefits person who's like, okay, yeah, we got some bad PR for this, and it really was our mistake, and what's it going to take for us to make sure that that doesn't happen in the future? And they probably have somebody that logistically crunches the numbers. It's like, what are we going to do to make sure that that doesn't happen again? And if the number comes out to too high, like, oh, we could hire a department or bring on another person to make sure this works, or if they just see how the distribution system works out, like Lego needs to be able to send sets early enough to all their retail stores for them to have them in stock and on shelves by the day of release. And by de facto, some are going to be just selling them early. Then, like, people are just going to get stuff early and on occasion have to pay the price for their negligence, It's kind of too bad. I hope that's not a regular thing, but yeah, it's what it's looking like now. That's kind of what it looks like right now. It's a real shame, but hopefully, I mean, this is a really rare thing to happen. But the end of the day, Lego was built up Lego made a huge comeback, not built up. Lego made a big comeback with relevancy, popularity, sales, revenue, all that stuff with Star Wars. Sorry, I'm going to grab one piece. And when they came back, oops, I'm going to grab a larger piece. And when Lego came back from revenue, sorry if you just like tuned in and I was talking about something else randomly. But when Lego came back, it's like they had this whole sort of relationship with Star Wars as a franchise, based on their own merits and their own stuff that they liked about, the medium. And it's just kind of too bad that now Disney owns Star Wars, which isn't such a bad thing in and of itself, but they have this relationship now a lot closer with Disney and the Star Wars line, the Star Wars franchise, so to speak. So there's a little bit of what on earth? This thing doesn't want to have to do a thing. Okay. What on earth? This thing should, in theory, be forward like a whole other. Let me just make sure this is on the right level. So I know that's going to be there, which means, okay, yeah. So this is going to be all the way forward there. Where's it? Where's that off? Dang it, yo. Oh, I remember now. Right. I think we can get away with this. Yeah, we can. Yep, we totally can. Now, what is keeping this from... Oh, it's just this bar clip. Just this clip in the way, keeping this whole chunk from being able to fit into its proper spot. Now just make sure that this is all there, that everything is touching the floor at the right spot, which it kind of is. No, it seems a little bit off. Why does that seem off? It looks perfect. It looks like everything's perfect except for, except for one little thing. That part's off. What are we gonna do? We're almost there. There's a little bit of, there's just a tiniest bit of friction. Something getting in the way. Okay, I know what's gonna happen. I know what's gonna happen. Just one. Oh, it's gonna actually be the tiniest bit of redesign. Bam, 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 bam. Yeah, I'm not gonna finish this stream, guys. Boom. This is more of just like a hangout. This actually is gonna have to do quite a bit of redesign right here at the bottom. Okay. It's not that big of a deal on this redesign, but it's just out of the reach. I have to make this one stud shorter. I think I made a weird sort of abridgment earlier, back when I first was building this, and now that abridgment is starting to just, there's just one stud it's off. Hello. Okay. So that should be the same. Pretty sure that fits onto this section. Yep. 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 Yep, yep, yep. All right, we're all in the same spot like we were before. Now, this should be able to fit. Yes! Oh, that fits in like butter! Like butter. Okay. I just want to make sure that there's some space there. Are we all feeling okay about what's being built up? Okay. Why do I feel as if I can make this stronger? I can see points of connection that aren't happening, and I can just, it just feels like it could be stronger. So I'm gonna do that because this thing needs as much help as it can get. Okay. Okay. Oop. All right. This doesn't have anything fitting in here. It doesn't. And it should. So how I'm gonna do that. Because should definitely okay. Now, where's the point of connection? One more time. Let's get this back in. So that's good. You know what? I need a. If I can get a 2x10 instead of those two different 2x4s, that would be perfect. 2x10 would be perfect. You know what's funny is I've been building this with like solely like gray pieces when so much of the interior doesn't have to be gray. But I'm not gonna lie to you, like that's what we have in the studio. That's like mostly what's some of the cheapest pieces and like most like light bluish gray is like one of the cheapest colors anyways. So a lot of this internal structure is made in gray. We had a ton of it in the studio. Oh my gosh, there we go. Why was that piece not included in the build? Oh my gosh, that makes the whole thing so much stronger. Alright, whatever. Now let's squeeze these pieces together. Make sure that we're all kind of in the same place. Yep, we're good. Oh my gosh, that's so much better. Okay. Nice. Now there's one sort of half of it. You kidding me, man. Alright. Nice. Now I built up some of these sections more. Just a little bit more. Oh, there it is. Ooh, I'm just gonna start. I feel like I almost just want to start improvising right now. Like, improvising honestly feels like it would go faster. It really does feel like that right now. So I know that would go here. Once that's there, yeah, not improvising too much, but just getting the last little bits to come through. All right, guys, we are just about in there. Oh, you know what? I'm gonna break these out. Yep. Oh no, don't fall in there. There you go. I'm like losing my parts, falling them. They're all falling like into the crevices. Depends on here, don't Lego stores, but they sell Lego everywhere. Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna start just playing around with some details myself. Okay. There we go. There's one side in. Here's the other side. See, this is totally. I'm like kind of looking at how it's built. I just want to get this thing donezo. I'm so close in so many ways. Where the heck did the other? Could have sworn I had the other sloped piece right next to me a second ago. Where'd that 1x3 go? Could have sworn it was right next to me. I know he had like matching sides. Okay, I'm gonna grab another sloped piece. Could have sworn it was there. Bam! Back in the swing of it. This feels better to be working on sort of the shape. Adding the sloped piece for the ports on the side, and I just went too fast and I grabbed whatchamacallit, one of the cash register pieces on accident. Alright. There we go. Now that shape's really coming in now. This Falcon is so close. I can't believe I'm so close to it. This was seriously like the most difficult thing I've ever had the honor of building. But it's gonna look better. It's gonna look better than the actual set. The set that's scaled is twice as large as it, maybe even bigger. This is gonna look better. That's sweet. Ooh, a bunch of weird stuff back here. Alright. Right. That's gonna fit there. Where the heck is this gonna attach? Okay. Let's get the landing gear out of the way. Gotta start deleting some of the old pieces just so I can see where the heck these parts are gonna end up. Okay, we got some weird pieces coming in. For sure we do. Ooh, okay, that's what I was looking for. That's more of these wedge pieces. Okay. I already have 4 of the Falcons. You have 4 of the Falcons, DJ Jotum. That's crazy. We have 2. I want to get the little microfighter Falcon. It's not first on my list, but I definitely want to get it at some point. Okay. So it looks like I'm just going to start building up sort of how the wedge pieces should be lining up. Okay, here we go. Yeah, this is where the sort of armor pieces and the bottom plating is all eventually going to get there. Are you guys all freaking out about buying the new Last Jedi sets? I know for us it's going to be about 20-something hours. Okay. Let's see. Okay, so it looks like these 2 wedge pieces are actually going to be perfectly aligned. All right. Another one. And another one. Oh my gosh, we're so close. Not entirely sure how this is going to work out, but let's do it. Let's do it. Where did the other half of this thing go? Oh, it's already there. Okay. get another couple of smaller studs if there's any left. I feel like I keep running out of those. All right. Ew, Ninjago's nasty and a failing brand. You think Ninjago's bad? I don't think it's that bad. I mean, I'm not a big fan of the Ninjago sets from the actual line so much. And I can sort of see why some people might not like that stuff as much. I'm not a huge fan of that. But I wouldn't go as far as to say it's a failing. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I haven't been following the like the sales of it so much, but I wouldn't go as far as to say it's a failing one. Maybe, I don't know. Okay. Oh man. I'm like so impatient to get this done. I really want to get this done before a certain time. But I gotta say, it is slow and steady wins the race. Every time I jump the gun on this build, the whole thing kind of explodes. I am starting to get some connection points here, though. And then a 1x6. Here we go. Guys, we're getting close. We're getting close. I think you're getting very close, in fact. We're so okay. 2 different 1x6s need to go onto the inside of this. What's going on underneath? Oh, I see what's going on. Okay, yeah. So we get to there. And we got another wedge piece that connects to these ones. Okay, I'm gonna start playing around a little bit. Hardly anything left. Almost there. Interesting, yeah. I see why that was kind of in the way there. Why that was sort of stuck, already out of the way, I should say. Piece that's going to kind of what does that look? That fits in there. Yeah. Here we go. I'm messing around so much with this build. I feel like there's so many little chunks that I just kind of keep adding to in case the pieces don't quite fit, which I don't think is, you know, it's always not what you're supposed to be doing, but it's actually been working out decently well. Oh no. Okay. Now there's a little bit of the underside in here. Still, I need to break this back out again, but for the most part, this thing really does look like it's gonna be matching up. Whew. Guys, I don't think you realize how close we are, or how excited I am to be done with this. Now, I think I am gonna break this back out one more time. Pull this extra little piece out. Now I just started messing around with a much more long-lasting, sturdy aspect of the structure. Just thinking I could give myself a little bit more space. I didn't feel like jamming stuff together too closely. But now I kind of feel like I probably should have just messed around with it more. Okay, I think that's probably fine. Hopefully this piece won't explode outwards too badly. Ooh. Oh man, this thing was so strong before. Okay, I broke out a part to try to make it stronger, and then now it doesn't want to go back together. Okay. I think I also probably shouldn't have used so many smaller pieces all at one point for this build, because that, I think, kind of makes things either too tight or too loose when you're pushing the studs together. So we have been playing around. I've been playing with fire. It looks like I'm getting just a little bit too close for comfort. And for some reason this piece wants to really mess around. Okay. I think I can do this. We're almost there. We're almost there. I mean, aside from all these weird little pieces that have been breaking out over the course of this whole build, we're pretty much there. This might actually be like the last main piece to try to fit in. Oh my gosh. Okay, let's see if this fits. That was all kind of just ad-libbed. Let's see if that works. See, why does that feel like there's some kind of tightness in there that isn't? What is that? Alright. Some part of this is running into some resistance. Let me see which part it is. It almost looks like there's just too many studs trying to fit in at the same time, and that these old pieces just do not like that. I might take this larger structural piece out if I can. Gosh, these old pieces just do not want to jump away from each other. They either don't want to stick together in the first place, and once they do, they don't want to jump out at the end. Yeah, so we'll see. Come on now. I'm like so close, and I can't see any discernible reason why this plates don't want to go together, other than there's just too many studs all trying to stick together at the same time. I still feel like I can get just about the same amount of structural integrity if I just use a few less studs all at the same time. Okay. Yeah, so that goes there. And this. No, that's in the piece that broke off. Okay. There's so many parts that just snap away as you go. I just kind of look around. I'm like, leave him. We'll get him next time. Okay. Yeah, this is looking bright. It's pretty much back there. Now there's some larger sort of back areas. Let me look at the ship. This looks a little bit too high for me. It's like, I almost feel like I can just make it lower down and it'll look better. Yeah, I almost feel like that would look better. Yeah, I'm like, now that I've put it together, I almost want to just play around with the underside and just make it look a little smoother. It almost doesn't, immediately as soon as I put it together, I'm like, this looks like I could make it look a little nicer. Maybe I can, maybe I can't, but. Yeah. Why do I feel like that would be better? Anyways, here. Now, for the most part, this thing is looking pretty darn good. I'm going to actually get the top cockpit on here. See if I can't get this thing to look like the actual Falcon, at least for a short period of time. And then I turn the camera off, and I, curse at this model for being so incredibly difficult. The model itself, I feel like, doesn't have the craziest. It doesn't have to be like, the model isn't really lacking in terms of being put together well, in terms of its design. It really just does have an unfortunate circumstance of that manual not really existing and the instructions not being able to load. Okay. But at least you get to see somebody struggle with the Lego for quite a long time. Okay. There we go. That piece is on. And I built this forever ago, but this should stay on top of this like that. Come on. Wow, yeah, these really are old pieces. But we have a pretty decent... Look, that satellite dish looks a little bit too big. I only put on one of the landing gear, but look at that. Look at the proportions. Now there's pieces that have broken out. There's a lot of the external detailing that I've left off at the moment. But look at that. Look at that. Look at this. And the head actually tilts. Looks like it splays outwards a little bit, which I feel like is another aspect of the build that I'm going to need to play around with more. I did actually get the angle to turn in pretty much as far as possible, but I think I see a way to make it turn inwards even more. Crazy though. I think I'm gonna end the stream here, guys, because what the heck is this? Let me switch to this camera here. I know I've been super disengaged. I haven't been talking to the stream very much. I've been all over the place, just trying to get this thing to do what I want it to do. And it's been, it's been a tough one. It's been a tough one, but ultimately, I mean, yeah, there's a lot of pieces that are breaking off. I haven't added the bottom landing gear just because. But wow, I am thoroughly impressed with the proportions. Now, there is a way I can get that head to angle inwards. I just noticed it just now. But come on, guys. You telling me that this isn't the best MIDI scale Falcon you've ever seen? It's flipping amazing. Very cool. Proportionally, it's pretty much flipping immaculate. I almost want to, like, I can see the piece that's not allowing this thing to turn in just ever so slightly, because that's by far the most distracting point right now, is that the angle is off. Oh, I can see the cheese. I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do it. So cool. Guys, I'm going to kill the stream, because why would I keep it going on longer than this? I've got the shape. Oh, it's so cool. Okay. Well, anyways, it's been quite a Falcon day with the release of the UCS Falcon. Dude, this thing is so heavy too. With the release of the UCS Falcon pictures, not the actual Falcon, and a 2-day stream. I've been on for 3.5 hours now. It's not done. I was on for 4 hours yesterday. Had an hour on before the stream started, so that was 5 plus 3.5. Yeah, we have almost 9 hours to make this. 855 pieces. That's less than 100 pieces an hour average. Yeah, it's slow. It's insanely slow. But I'll be playing around with the color combination. Obviously, get some of these darker pieces, which I don't have right now, and play around with just some of the external pieces in general. I can probably make a few more of them dark gray, as opposed to some of the old gray instead of the dark gray. But yeah, it's dope. It's everything I wanted. No regrets, even though this was 2 stream days worth of crazy slow in. And we'll see you next time at Brick Vault.